All right, we're just going to talk about some of the most common throwing errors that I've seen as a player and as a coach. We'll start with our tilted posture. So I see this very commonly when athletes have a hard time either clearing their front foot or are trying to get too far over top. So if I'm stepping here and, clearing my midline, I want to be just left of my target since I'm right-handed. When I step, if I don't clear my midline, when I try to drive my hips through, my right hip is going to now tilt up. When that tilt happens, it tilts my spine, and now my shoulders are here, and now I'm throwing from this. Instead of being here, a little more square with my hips, nice and flat, shoulders can then be flat, and the throw has a better chance of being accurate because my eye level is flat as well. When assessing that, just kind of take a look at the feet. Are they clearing their midline? Are their hips able to fire through on an even level, or is one hip having to climb over the other? The last piece is if they're just been so ingrained to throw over top that they're now trying to reach this arm super high up. That's going to cause them to come through on this plane here and have them missing left or right. Another issue that I'm seeing with throwing, and this is something that I had to deal with myself, is just having a very aggressive off arm. Anything you're doing with your front arm is going to affect your rear arm. By aggressive off arm, this is what I'll see. And again, this is something you can really pick up if you're recording quarterback's reps from in front of them. So if I'm here and I'm getting ready to throw and I yank straight across here, that's going to cause me to rotate early and potentially be way outside here on this arm. Everything's going to fly this way, probably going to end up missing left or trying to use arm talent and then missing right. Another thing is an aggressive downward pull. You'll see this with more like inline throwers. Again, breaking the hands, yanking down, causing this to go up, and now I'm left with my shoulders tilted, eyes tilted, not going to see my target as good, potentially missing high or low. So be careful with the off arm, making sure that's nice and calm. A thing I like to say is, just take a bite of the burger. After we're getting ready to throw, pull that arm right back, bite the burger, or similar to how boxers, if they're throwing one punch, they're pulling the other one back to protect the chin. If I'm throwing here, pulling back to protect the chin nice and clean, and then it won't affect this throwing arm from getting through. All right, the last common throwing error that I see, young quarterbacks especially, is pushing the ball versus throwing. Pushing happens when the elbow drops really far down. We have a really tight angle with this arm here, and it ends up being one of these pushing movements versus like getting on top and pulling across the ball, causing that spiral. If you have a quarterback that is breaking and keeping this elbow really far down, you'll notice that the ball is flying upwards a lot and not really coming back down. This here, elbow all the way down when we break, sinking down here, that's gonna lead to push. If we can break and get this elbow up, coming through even or just under the shoulder, we have a better chance to throw the ball. Again, these are just 3 of the most common throwing errors that I've seen as a player and as a quarterback coach. Really want to encourage that just because the job is getting done at a young age with mechanical flaws doesn't mean it should be ignored just for the sake of having success on the field or winning games. If you have a quarterback that has some of these mechanical flaws, they are pretty easy to fix as long as you're willing to put the time and effort into correcting those movements. Think quality of mechanics over the success on the fields, and in the long run, I promise you that the outcome will be better with cleaner and more efficient mechanics.